He was sent to kill you. You were sent to kill him. And now you are pregnant. The baby is his. You didn't know how to get out of that mess. How it started. Sasuke was supposed to be accompanying you. The Hokage said it was meaningful because of his revenge, but you couldn't comprehend why a brother out for revenge would be the best companionship to you. Your mission was clear from the start. Assassinate Itachi Uchiha no matter what. Sasuke was a dutiful boy. You could count on him, but he was still just a boy. He had trouble remembering that. Your nights were spent cold, bone-chilling even. However, neither of you complained as you headed forth. Despite your efforts in the coming weeks, Sasuke barely said a word to you, only letting you know when he needed to use the bathroom or when he was hungry. You didn't think he depended on you much, but he did for food. That bit was certain enough. He seemed like a good kid, troubled, definitely living with past trauma, but I mean, who isn't? Still a good kid though, at times. He could be real mean though, and Kage knows how children could be. The worst part is that he didn't even seem to be doing it on purpose, like it was just normal to be disrespectful to your superiors, even though he seemed to feel like he was the superior one. You were only briefly informed of the details. Itachi was with the Akatsuki. Find the Akatsuki, kill Itachi. Very distinctly, you remember Itachi. You remember your small interactions with him. He seemed cold on the outside, but in reality, he was very intelligent and caring. You wiggled your way into his small circle of one, somehow, and slowly became attached to the boy. He was not a boy now, though, and you understand feelings of past interest should not get in the way of the present, but there were still times you dreamed. Itachi walked away from his partner. He knew you were coming and he knew he had to be ready. You weren't just any shinobi after all. You were strong and brave, close in power to the great Sannin. But you were also his immortal weakness. Sasuke was with you. He could feel his presence beneath the trees in the wind. He'd gotten powerful as well. Itachi didn't fail to notice this. However, he was not strong enough. He still needed his little brother to hate him more. Else, his plan would not be secure. He would not be able to transfer his eyes. Itachi kept pace with the two of you, watching just close enough to make out your faces. He could admit he missed you, but if he said he missed the sight of you, missed your attitude, your wit and charm, he'd dig himself a hole that was bound to be bottomless. Therefore, Itachi kept out of range. He would not approach you. He would not lay a finger of intent to cause you harm on you. He would not stand for it, even if it tortured him to know that you were only a few feet away, within arm's reach, and yet the 29th of February to his 28th. You better thank me. I used to change your diapers, you know, you scolded Sasuke. He tisks. Little boy, I may not be your biological sister, but you better start treating me with some respect. You stomped over to him as he still sat on the ground near the campfire you'd created. I doubt it. Doubts get you killed, you know. You closed your eyes as you were, then opened one eye to see if he was looking. He was not. Stupidity will too. Who are you calling stupid? You glared. Keep your voice down. The fire crackled when the stick Sasuke threw into the pit met with the others already there. You have a pitying expression. You know something, kid? Would you stop calling me kid? Ignoring him, you continued. Itachi loved you. A lot. As quick as lightning, he was in your face, trying to push you down. You redirected the attack and pushed him down instead. Oh, what's your problem? You cursed. I will not hear what you have to say. It's pointless to talk about him as if he were not a traitor of a leaf. His tone was sharp. Despite the pain you knew he felt. I get it. I miss him too. I don't miss him. His shout broke through the forest as he tried to push you off again. You held down with a strong sigh and an airy, dry chuckle. I thought we were supposed to be quiet. You know nothing, he hissed. I know you're in pain. You breathed. I am too. Sasuke stopped his struggles at that. He looked up, forced eye contact with you, his mouth not moving, but his eyes asking internally. I was really close with your brother, you said, regretting the words as soon as they left your mouth. Sasuke slowly narrowed his eyes. How close? You loved Itachi, even now. You'd never made it official, but you knew he loved you back. Did you love him? Sasuke had spoken harsh words before. He had his brother's way of making people feel below him with just a flicker of his eye. You bit your bottom lip, closed your eyes, and sucked in a deep breath. I did love him. You should have chosen your next words carefully, should have probably not spoken at all, but the words effortlessly left your mouth as if the lock that had been keeping them shut suddenly burst with the need to listen. I loved him when we were kids. I loved him then when he murdered the Uchiha clan, and I love him even now, as I stand here, bickering with you. You half expected Sasuke to both yell at you and attack you, but when nothing came, you popped one eye open, then the other. Sasuke's look of pure shock was almost laughable. And you're willing to kill him anyway? You inhaled and exhaled again, your lips trembling as you spoke the word. Yes. I respect you. A voice bellowed through the forest, louder than yours or Sasuke's had been. It came from somewhere up in the trees. Both Sasuke and yourself looked up, and then you spotted him. He appeared at the worst possible moment. Seriously, you couldn't have picked a better time? You thought, sweat dripping down your forehead, a personal best. Hello, dear brother. He nodded, then faced you in all his glory. Wyan. Many thoughts coursed through your brain, but the one that captured your attention was, he looks so hot. Then, no, stop it, Wyan, quit trolling over the enemy. Then, but he's so damn fine, you haven't seen him in over 5 years. But then, I know he's forbidden, but oh god damn it. It was true. You had not laid an eye upon Itachi Uchiha in over 5 years. So this new sense, one that brought the freshness of your heart to the front of the line, was also the thing keeping you from moving. Sasuke had launched an attack immediately, but you stay in your place, unable to fathom the lot of it. The way when he tilted his head, he looked like a prince. The way his eyes narrowed when he smirked. Itachi easily dodged and immediately knocked Sasuke out. In a few flashes, there was only one conscious brother. I've missed you, he said, and just as he did, you regained your sense and reached for a kunai knife. Oh no, he grunted. I thought you loved me. Am I to believe this is tough love? He took a step forward. Stay back! You gripped the knife, thinking of your options. You know, I was sent to kill anyone who roamed this forest now. His steps did not falter, though your grip loosened and you almost dropped the kunai. I mean it! Your voice trembled as he walked into your range, but you failed to move. What was it Sasuke said earlier? Itachi questioned. Oh, that's right. I doubt it. I what? He grabbed your arms and you dropped the kunai completely, gasping at the sudden contact. What's wrong? You heard the smirk in his voice. You battled with yourself internally. You what? He asked again. God, I've missed you so much. You wrapped your arms around his neck and pulled him as close as physically possible. I know, he said, and this time you could hear the truth coming from him. I know loving you is a crime, but That's right. We can never be together. His voice shuddered, something you hadn't heard since before the Great War. But you know what? he pulled apart from you. I can show you my love one final time. Sasuke and yourself had returned to the leaf. Mission failed. You explained what happened, how Itachi was just too strong, how he was able to beat Sasuke, then you. Of course, Sasuke was unconscious and wasn't able to counter your story. It's not like you lied, though. When you woke up, Itachi was gone. He had bested you, just not in a fight. 9 months later, you gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The folk of the leaf speculated just whose child it was exactly, but no one ever voiced their concerns directly to your face. You had a feeling the Hokage knew what had happened, but he never said anything. He accepted your daughter with joy. Not a lot could be said for Sasuke, who knew he was an uncle now. You couldn't exactly hide the fact that she edged the Sharingan forever, so you decided to come clean with him. It took time, but he got over it and treated you both like family. Well, as best as he could. He was still out for revenge. You thought perhaps he would always be. You just hoped his friends would be there when he fell and when he jumped. This was requested. I know it wasn't completely what was requested, but I wrote this yesterday in my 6th period because I literally had nothing to do. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, goodbye everyone, I love you.
He's never gonna make it. All the poor people he's forsaken. Karma is always gonna chase him.